Oh my goodness! Look at my bank account. What should I do, wise mythical tree? You're right. I need to be more responsible with my money. Wait a minute. Is that a free game? I have got to pay for it. Move! The Dead Effect series. Something that I wanted to cover a little bit ago, but I was too lazy and tired and school, and it's summer now. Yippee! I paid around $10 for both these games because they're on sale. If you were to try to buy them now, it'll be $16 because they're not on sale. Duh.
There's also some not so legal ways you can get the game. I'm not saying you should do it, but...
The first Dead Effect came out on iOS on September 12, 2013, and a month later came out on Android on October 15, 2013. These versions you had to pay for until they made for free in 2014. Then you have the PC version, which came out a little over a year later on December 17, 2014. And then you have Dead Effect 2, which released on iOS and Android at the same time on October 28, 2015. This version was free from the beginning, of course. I wonder why. Then you have the PC release a year later, and then a year later after that, you have it on like Xbox One and PS4, and then a few years after that, you have it on like the Nintendo Switch, which is interesting. I need to slow down a little bit. Man, I was talking way too fast. But before we continue, all right, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Johnny Wid. This is Wise Mythical Tree, and welcome to my video. I hope you enjoy your stay. All right, let's talk about the first game. We already know that the mobile version came out before the PC version, and you can obviously tell the differences between the two games. Just take a look at the first level.
Error. Disruption detected. Restart. Emergency nanotrite activation launch. 3, 2, 1. Awakening. It is when... Restart. Emergency nanotrite activation launched. 3, 2, 1. Awakening. It is when
bones during this time weren't too powerful, and honestly, this is pretty good for the time, and I would say still is. The biggest differences between the two versions of these games is the progression. You will feel the difference between the two. The PC version of this game doesn't even have a shop because you earn more than enough just by playing the story. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Look at the weapons for the PC version compared to the mobile version for weapons. Insane. You earn about 20 to 40,000 credits per story mission, which for the PC version, that's fine, because the most expensive weapon in that version is 63,000 credits, compared to 62,000 credits for the starting weapon you get as Jane, the starting shotgun, in the mobile version of the game. That's baffling to me. And not only that, there are weapons that cost over 300,000 credits in the mobile version of this game. Then you have weapons that cost gold, which is hard to earn in this game. By the time I was at mission 4, I only had 7 gold. Keep in mind, there are 12 missions in this game. Of course, there are other modes you can play that can get you credits in gold, like Survival and Biohazard, which is the best way to earn gold, by the way, but that requires more time spent into the game. And why spend multiple hours or days if the item you want costs gold? We can just spend, what, $5 or a little more than that to get the items. You see what I mean? This is kind of the problem with a lot of mobile games, the freemium model, or even, no, this is really like a mobile game problem. But that's just a little rant I want to go on before I continue with looking at this game. Gameplay. This is your standard first-person shooter. There's not really much to talk about here, other than that you do get like a cool little devastate ability, which like clears out the zombies in the area. You get like a cool little also like Volt gun that one-shots most enemies, but other than that, it's pretty simple. I will say though that the gunplay is really good for a mobile game. It's pretty damn good, and there's a lot of weapons that you can kind of choose from, all with like different little situational usefulness, if that makes sense. And then starting at mission 6, you begin to get player upgrades, which allows you to increase your health, movement speed, ammo capacity, bullet time, etc, etc. You can get these upgrades only in gameplay though, and not from the store, which is a little weird, but whatever, right? And then you have the story, which, if I'm being honest, does not move me. I'm sorry to the 3 Dead Effect 1 fans, but I'm not moved. I'm not moved, right? The story is pretty generic, but you know, the voice acting made it a little more entertaining. Whoever voiced Wagner and used like a Arnold Schwarzenegger voice to like voice him, you deserve some awards, all right? You made this story 20 times more tolerable. If you want a little synopsis of the story, I can give it to you. Spoiler alert. Your character that you choose wakes up from cryostasis on a ship that's been taken over by zombies because of Project Dead Effect, a virus to make super soldiers. The main character, in its case Jean Grey, is part of this project. The whole point of this whole thing was to put you in combat scenarios to see how well you do. Jane is very hurt by this because the person who's been guiding you, Wagner, was part of all this and has been testing you and is trying to kill you now. And now your goal is to kill him. Yeah, I will say though that the final level is kind of funny because Wagner at this point is just he's out of his mind, and he's so excited by the fact that you're just such a good subject that he helps you take out the generators that's powering his like shield so you can fight him. I don't know, I just thought it was pretty funny. Overall, I give this game like a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. It was only $5 on PC, and I got like what 2-3 hours of good enjoyment. I probably a little more because I played Biohazard quite a bit, but overall it's not bad. The mobile version, which is the free version of this game, is horrendous. You won't be able to use most of the weapons in the game. You're probably gonna be stuck with your starting weapons because it's just so expensive to try to buy another weapon, or just too much of a time commitment to try to get another weapon, you know? But next game. Something you notice right away when playing this game is that there's just more of everything. Released about 2 years after the first game, they had plenty of time to see what they can improve on and what they could add. And trust me, they did a lot of both. A improved storyline, a lot of new weapons, more upgrades, a whole bunch of skills, a better UI, which is technically speaking, this is only like, what, 4 things, but they add a whole lot to the game. Funny enough, you can only have 1 save file on the second game, compared to the first one, we can have 2, 1 for each character. And the second game, there are 3 characters, which is a little weird, right? I wonder why they'll only let you have 1 save file on the second game. Keep that in mind. But let's talk about the story. And by that, I mean not actually talk about it, because I don't want to spend 10 minutes explaining the synopsis of what happens throughout the game. That was a lot of words to just say I'm not talking about the story. I will say this though, there's a lot more exposition before missions, and the story is a little more involved, so there's that. But let's move on to the gameplay. Yeah, just gameplay and nothing else. Definitely not going to be complaining during this section. Most definitely not. Let's talk about some of the new changes they made to the gameplay. First things first, look how many abilities you can unlock and upgrade. Each character has their own class skills, plus 3 more skill trees you can choose from. It's a lot. But wait, there's more. Dead Effect 2 is now a looter shooter, which means that there's a lot more weapons, and now there's weapon tiers, and then there's gear and implants, which also have tiers, and then there's modules you can use to upgrade those gear and implants. That also has tiers as well. But this is where my problem with the game starts to stem from. One of the complaints I had was the looter shooter aspect. Compared to the first game, progress feels less substantial. Sure, you get better stats, weapons, skills, you know, gear, implants, etc., but not much will feel different. Enemies will keep up with your level, and if you play on harder difficulties, they'll be higher level than you, which makes them bullet sponges. I think as time went on, that kind of turned me off. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me, is the lack of tangible progression. The best way I can describe it is how the gameplay was in the beginning of the game compared to where I am now feels about the same. The only difference is the weapon I use, my abilities, and maybe the fact that I can take 2 or 3 more hits and run for like 3 more seconds. That's it. And you know what? Probably one of the biggest reasons why they went for the looter shooter route and only gave you 1 save slot is because of money. This is a mobile game first and foremost, and everything else is second. The first game monetization system was not the best, sure, but the second game takes it to a whole nother level. And from what I'm hearing, on the mobile version of the second game, you have to pay for parts 2 and 3 of the story, which is insane if that is true. And you know, after a little bit, I just stopped playing the game because I was just getting really annoyed about the mobile version. And not only that, the gameplay was already getting pretty repetitive. I can't even recommend the mobile versions of these games because they're so predatory and monotonous with its gameplay that it's just might as well play the PC versions. Matter of fact, don't play the game, but if you are going to play it, get the games on a sale. And if there's another way you can play it, go ahead. But anyways, thank you for watching my video. Hope you have a good morning, good evening, and a good night. And thank you.